I want to talk about Sean Payton and just like that little. I saw you posted that.
Yeah.
And I giggled at that because I think the juxtaposition between that and what we were talking about with the Jaguars reporter earlier, I think that was just perfection.
You're right, and even the Aaron Rodgers press conference too.
Yeah,
100%. So we had the reporter give Liam Coen some love, right? Yeah. We talked about it Monday. It's like, hey, great season. Keep your head up.
I just want to tell you, congratulations on your success, young man.
Thank you.
You hold your head up, all right? You guys have had a most magnificent season.
Thank you.
And you did a great job out there today.
Appreciate
so you just hold your head up, okay?
Thank
and
you,
ladies and gentlemen, Duval, you the one, all right? You keep it going. We got another season, okay?
I appreciate it.
Take care and much continued success to you and the entire team.
Thank you, ma'am.
And then we touched on the fact that there were a lot of other reporters out there going like, this is unprofessional. You cannot do this. And I think Tom and I are like, it's a sports ball game. You're talking about football. And I get journalistic integrity. And sports needs it too.
But
it's a football game.
But it's also,
you can have one kind of moment, one fun moment.
One. And it would be different if, because there's the other thing I do want to talk about is that press conference with the Ravens owner. Because that, did you watch the full hour? Because I saw some clips and I watched like the first 25 minutes, like as I went to bed, and I was like, this is actually really refreshing to hear. Like, I do want to talk about that too, because it was a great press conference.
He was honest.
But exactly. That's why I was just like, is this the truth? I was like, this feels weird. I feel like this is not, this doesn't come out very often.
Biscotti.
Yeah, I don't know about that. So I do want to talk about that. But in terms of some of the questions we saw from journalists were, after all this crap, after going after like a community reporter who has been doing this for a long time because they decided to be nice to Liam Coen, right? And people are like, this is why you don't let First of all, she is a journalist. Second of all, right, like most importantly, they didn't just let some random ass fan in there and just be like, can you be really nice to Liam Coen? That's not what happened.
Because the fan probably wouldn't have been. They'd been like, you broke my heart, Liam.
How dare you? That. And then it's like you get that followed up by some of the most dumbass questions that happened the same week when they're asking Aaron Rodgers, hey, what was that decision of why you didn't play on that final drive? And Rodgers goes, it was 30-6.
And then they follow it up like with they're just trying to get the guy to say something stupid.
Yeah.
That's what's annoying about it. That's what's annoying about like the critiques of it. What do you mean? Why didn't you go out there? There was so I could take another hit for no reason?
Did you
so I
guys
could throw
see that
another
defense?
pick six? What do you want from me?
Yeah.
And I think the worst, like the Aaron Rodgers press conference was really bad in terms of like the questions he was getting, because they asked him about Tomlin and the hot seat and all that stuff. And he had a really good answer about Matt LaFleur and Mike Tomlin. And he's like, the fact that we're talking about those two coaches being on the hot seat is just ridiculous. It shows where the state of the game is. And he wasn't 100% accurate, but I agreed with most of what he's saying in that situation and actually side with him there. So he gave a good answer about Mike Tomlin. And then they asked him another question about Mike Tomlin. And this is what he said. And this was after everybody gave the Liam Coen question shit.
From being with Mike for a season about him.
And I've answered that a number of times. I've talked extensively about how I feel about Mike. And I just did in that fucking answer, so thanks.
All right.
Just when I thought I was out, you pull me back in, Rodgers. You're my favorite quarterback again.
I just said this. I just said that. You were in the room when it happened, when I said it.
Yeah. He needed to be a dick in that moment. So thank you, Aaron.
That was the most frustrated teacher energy I've ever seen from Aaron Rodgers, just being like, I don't know what to do with you.
Yes.
Dark Lord, they should be wide open. And I mean wide open. I might be going to kick for the Packers.
Yeah, that's going to go down. That's going to be top 10 all time in my memory bank of answers.
Mike Tomlin stepped down at Pittsburgh.
He did? Is it official?
That's what I keep hearing. So is he a candidate here?
Holy shit, Mike. Wouldn't that be awesome? So I think it works, even though I work remotely. Started long before COVID. I invented working remotely. I said to Lamar last night, when they call me up from Florida, you better get your ass up here too. I mean, we may be doing Jupiter in April for all.
Okay, I didn't know which ones those were.
Eric's going to go.
So the one after that Tomlin comment, he was like, "But John's got to go over and coach the Steelers." I was like, "Yes, thank you."
He gets it. He gets it. So he is a retired billionaire, right? Who like this is. All right, we fired our coach. All right, let's go out and do this, right? Like put on. So there was a few things that happened just within the first 30 minutes. One, he was asked about John Harbaugh, of course, and when the decision was to fire him, and also talked about doing it over the phone because that was a thing too. So that got some coverage earlier this week that John Harbaugh was fired over the phone after leaving the team facility. And he comes out and he goes, yeah, that's 100% true. He goes, I called him because I don't want to make his ass come back into work. He's just like, I don't want him to have to drive back in and be like, hey, meet me here in an hour. So he called him and he was like, hey, listen, it's not working out anymore. And apparently Harbaugh was the one consoling him. And he's like, you don't got to apologize for anything. He's like, you gave me 18 years. You changed the trajectory of my life. I would also love if none of this happened and he's just like making this up. That would have been fantastic.
That's not how it went.
Harbaugh was just like, you son of a bitch. And he's just like, he was so complimentary. And then he called him again on Thursday. And then he got into more of the details as to like why. But he goes, I talked to Lamar Jackson. He's like, I talked to the veterans in this player. And he goes, Lamar Jackson is one of the most non-confrontational people ever. And Jackson was like, people say I have a problem with Monken. I don't have a problem with him. People are saying I have a problem with Harbaugh. I don't have a problem with him. I don't know where this stuff is coming from. And it came together where he was thinking about it before. He came out to the decision on Monday night, and just like, all right, this is where I want things to be. And he made the comment too, like it would have been for another week, but it seemed like he just was like brutally honest. And it goes, if you look back at where we were, what led the league in blown fourth quarters, right? Packers fans, do you hear that? All the people who are hoping LaFleur gets fired for Harbaugh, do you hear that from the ownership? Anyway, so there's that. But then it's also just, man, like we hadn't been back to a Super Bowl. There was folks even that said like we were the best team in the league. We underachieved because we weren't able to get back there. Yeah. And it was just time to make a change.
Yeah, we do. We put a lot on coaches when there are some very obvious things that also go wrong with teams and the Packers are a good example of that with Micah and his injury. I think the Ravens this year, though, you looked at, they brought back a very similar roster, right? And they just underachieved. And I think that's what helps make a decision like that. We haven't got to it yet.
Sorry,
but I did want to play this before we forget.
Not Biscotti, Biscotti. Apologies.
It's Biscotti. I think it's Biscotti.
I would love to be Biscotti.
As an Italian man who's eaten plenty of biscotti, that looks like biscotti to me. I think he's pronouncing it wrong.
Mm.
Charlotte having green linebacker for this game, his ability to attack downhill in the run game, just how big is that and the timing of it for this one?
You want him to attack downhill? Is that your, like, what do you know about attacking downhill in the run game? You don't know. All right, that's right. But have him attacking downhill. It's good to have a healthy Dre Greenlaw back in the game. Yeah.
Their quarterback.
Yes, that's my coach, motherfuckers. That's my coach. It's my coach.
We
love him.
There's a couple of things that I feel about that clip, right? There's a couple things. One, again, Biscotti. Sorry. Apologies.
I think it's Biscotti, guys.
Biscotti.
I'm making Tom dumber. Every time he does a show with me, Tom loses just a fraction of his intelligence.
There's not much left now. At the end of the season, it's pretty much all gone. It's leaked out.
Especially with grammatical errors.
Two things I feel about that. One, again, when you're comparing that to the Jaguars clip, I think it's just really damn funny.
Yeah.
Two, I think also Sean Payton looks like he's pretty focused.
Yeah.
right? And again, like they wound up laughing it off afterwards too. Like this is not like incredibly serious of like, oh my God, how dare he? But it did make me think of how many coaches who are so entrenched in football and have so much football knowledge and then have to go answer these dumbass questions and are like, okay, sure. Yeah, let's play this game. You know just as much as I do. And just like explain football and simplify it. It just like that, I know like you joked about it afterwards, but there seemed to be like a decent, like at least a hint of, you don't know things.
Yeah.
You don't even know what you don't know.
It's like if they have that relationship, and from what I've gathered, like he likes to give Luca Evans, who's a reporter at the Denver Post, which, if you don't know, I was on the front page of one of their papers. He is a reporter at the Denver Post, and apparently they kind of have this banter. So that's a part of it, like a lot of people aren't going to see. And that's a hard thing to explain to people about Sean Payton, because if you just look at that clip, he comes off as a dick.
Well, he is.
And he is also a dick.
Yeah. I mean, he is,
sometimes
right? Like
he's being a dick in a fun way. Sometimes he's not, and you just never really know with him. And I know Sean Payton, and when I first saw that, I was like, oh, fuck. He's being an asshole for no reason. So, yeah, that's just kind of like, what I forget what we were talking about earlier in the year. It was one of his, I think it was the Jaguars, like, small market team.
Yeah.
I honestly don't think he meant it. I think he meant it in terms of, like, they're not getting the coverage of other teams. But the way Sean says it, you're like, he's just being a dick.
Yeah.
I've accepted that in my heart about Sean Payton.
Because you don't care. You're like,
no, I don't
this
care.
dick can take me to the Super Bowl. I don't care.
Yeah. Also, like, and it wasn't even that bad of a question. I think that's what's funny. It's like a downhill linebacker. Like, that's something you hear all the time. Is it correct in the context? I don't know. And
it's
I
like
don't
halftime
care.
adjustments.
Right. Yeah. You're like, most normal coaches in their head, they go, he doesn't know what he's talking about. And then they would go, yeah, you know what's great to have Dre Greenlaw back on the field. Anytime you can get a guy like that back on our defense, it can make a huge impact for us. Excited to have him back. Next question. That's what normal coaches do.
He did not want to do that.
You don't know shit. I'm going to let everybody know you don't know shit. And I'm going to say it in a way where nobody actually knows whether I'm joking or not.